Mega Marino. His name is Mega Marino.
Mega Man 2's Atomic Fire, originally given to you by Heatman, can be shot like a buster, can melt objects and destroy enemies. It can shoot for 2 damage at a time. It can be charged in a mid-charge for 4 damage at a time. And you can also get a full charge for 8 damage at a time and just completely destroy enemies. In my opinion, the best way to use Atomic Fire is to just keep it fully charged and plow down enemies. Also, when you run out of weapon energy, you can still keep using it. Fun fact, you cannot shoot Woodman with Atomic Fire. However, if you turn around into him, you can. Just like most other fire abilities in Mega Man Maker, there are plenty of interactions that you can do with Atomic Fire. You can melt away ice, you can break ice, it destroys objects, you can ignite oil, and you can even cook up some crab. I mean, activate hot plates, but cook up some crab. Metal Blade, originally given to you by Metal Man and Mega Man 2, can shoot in 8 directions. Metal Blade only consumes 1 weapon energy every 4 shots. Metal Blade is pretty good for almost all general enemies in the game, as Metal Blades pass through enemies once they're killed. It also just does 1 damage like Mega Buster, but some enemies have a special property, they die faster. Because of its utility and ability to go in any direction, which again, 8 different directions is a lot, you can just simply kill anything from anywhere at any time. Again, only 1 damage, but you can shoot right above your head, you can get anticipation shots from angles, down angles even. It just completely wipes out everything. It's really good. Oh, and you can only have 3 on the screen, just like Mega Buster. You're not supposed to be able to walk and shoot Metal Blade at the same time, but if you cancel your Mega Buster, you can, and it's nuts. Oh, you can do this too. Mega Man 2 Bubble Lead, originally given to you by Bubble Man, does 3 damage and shoots in a little bit of an arc. Bubble Lead is a little bit awkward, but it does scale down walls pretty well. I would say the best part about Bubble Lead is its DPS, which is damage per second. It does 3 damage at a time, and once the bubble kills an enemy, it keeps going, and you can kill enemies really fast. Bubble Lead also has some interesting interactions with fire. As shown here, there's fire that could one-hit KO you or just damage you, and there's also fire that respawns, so you gotta know what's what, or you will be burned alive. A side benefit from Bubble Lead is the ability to use it to see in the dark. You can actually scale the floor with it and check for holes, and it's very helpful. So basically, you're a firefighter and a pit checker. Mega Man 2 Quick Boomerang, originally given to you by Quickman, does the same damage as Mega Buster, but you can auto-fire it, and it shoots at a little arc. Because of the auto-fire ability, you can just hold the shoot button and plow through enemies with ease. Notice these enemies all have shields, but depending on your position, spacing, and angle, you can just shoot Quick Boomerang right over their head, right behind their shield. Or you can just double mash, which is mashing on controller and keyboard and taking out any enemy, whether it's 5, 10, or 20 hits. And this weapon has some pretty good angles in which it can shoot above you, or you can just stand on the ground and shoot stuff underneath you below the floor. Situational, but comes in handy. And even with bosses, you can take advantage of the shield and shoot directly behind them while they're shielded, totally negating the effect of their shield and allowing an easy fight. Oh, and also, this weapon has 224 weapon ammo, so good luck using all of it. Mega Man 2 Time Stopper can freeze enemies and objects. Originally given to you by Flashman in Mega Man 2, Time Stopper allows you to freeze enemies in place, allowing for some easy platforming and you can just kind of ignore them. You do no damage to these enemies, but it still helps a lot. You can freeze Yokus, bombs, falling blocks, chandeliers, conveyors, fire beams, electric beams, lasers, vertical platforms, horizontal platforms, magnets, falling blocks, fans, springs, flippers, balloons, up-down elevators, and more. Time Stopper does deal damage to bosses. You actually have 420 weapon energy. You deal 13 damage over the course of 7 seconds if the primary weakness. If there's a secondary weakness, you do no damage, but the boss does still stay frozen in time, and if there is no weakness, well, good luck, you're gonna get wrecked. Mega Man 2 Crash Bomber, originally given to you by Crash Man, explodes for 14 damage. This is a slow motion Big Eye. We're going to kill him with 2 crash bombs, doing 14 damage the first bomb, and then doing 6 damage the second, all in intervals of 2. So 1 crash bomb ticks 7 times for 2 damage each. It's absolutely nuts. This weapon absolutely destroys every single enemy in Mega Man Maker. It doesn't matter how much health it has, as long as you can get inside the enemy or stand next to it or shoot it, you'll just simply destroy it. So find your way in and do damage. The amount of objects this breaks requires another video. You can break 4 weapon blocks instead of 2 with the pixel perfect setup. Also, there's a frame perfect trick in which you can shoot Crash Bomber against a wall while entering a boss room and get the first frame available on damage. Boom! Mega Man 2 Air Shooter, originally given to you by Airman, shoots 3 separate projectiles dealing 2 damage each. Shown here is a 5 health enemy, a 10 health enemy, and a 20 health enemy. When you use Buster, you have to shoot them with that many hits until they die. However, with Air Shooter, they do 2 damage each and you can stack them up to 6 damage, so you eliminate enemies much faster. Air Shooter is mainly made for taking out enemies in the air, so it's essentially a spread shot, dealing 2 damage with 3 separate hits. As shown are enemies with different health values placed in the air, really demonstrating that this weapon focuses on the spread shot of the Air Shooter hitting enemies in the air, while also being able to stack them for massive DPS. Fun fact about Air Shooter, you cannot multi-stack against bosses, but you can against enemies. The original Crash Man fight is only 3 hits. In Mega Man Maker, it's 7 if primary. This weapon's ass. Leaf Shield from Mega Man 2, originally given to you by Woodman, is a shield that shoots up, down, left, and right for 3 damage. Leaf Shield's damage actually ticks for 3 damage at a time while you stand in front of an enemy, or you can just throw it. Leaf Shield's projectile actually stays in the frontmost layer across all of these enemies, so you can just shred right through them. Also, Leaf Shield does not consume any weapon energy until you fire it. This weapon is such a powerhouse in terms of just clearing out enemies. Just look at how efficiently it wipes out all these mini bosses, and it even kills hot doggers in 1 hit. Leaf Shield is also pretty good against bosses. As shown here, you can just nullify all of Metal Man's projectiles and then shoot him with your own. Or you can even kill bosses by just simply standing still and letting the boss just kill themselves. Look, Ma, no hands! God damn it, dude.
Mega Marino, his name is Mega Marino.